Yo, it's your boy Logos. And once again, I have a topic that was on my mind for like a few years now. But after seeing something online, of course, now I feel like I'm ready to have that conversation. And of course, now that I got this platform, there's no better way to do it. And I want to talk about the fear of marriage, but mostly like women's fear of marriage. Because I am a guy and I do understand more about why we fear marriage, especially the financial costs and stuff like that. But I really want to talk about women and try to get more of an understanding from their point of view because I see very often women having fears of marriage simply because of the fact that it's not guaranteed to last forever. And I'm oversimplifying their feelings, but that's literally what that's what it comes down to. The fact that it could not last forever. And as they say, it's just a piece of paper, quote unquote. I think that mindset and that whole like feeling is kind of odd to me, simply because of the fact that you're saying it's just a piece of paper. Act like that piece of paper has no like standing at all in the court of law and society, or just in logical practice. Like you literally bind it together financially, medically. Like it's a significant thing to do, and to just minimize it as just a piece of paper is kind of ridiculous to me, especially if you're doing things that is, well, in my opinion, much more binding between two people compared to getting married. And what I'm talking about specifically is having children. And I only bring that up not because I have something against single mothers or anything like that, as much as some people may try to say, or some people may say in the future. I don't have a problem with single mothers in the least. Like, come on. My whole thinking is though, like, some of them will say, like, I don't really value marriage as much because of the fact it's not guaranteed to last forever. But they also will have children with a man that are not married to, and I feel like that is a much more of a binding agreement compared to marriage. Like that child can't be undone once it's born. You will have that connection with that man from the birth of that child to the end of your lives. Hopefully. That's the best case scenario, because the worst case scenario is the child dies before y'all die. And I don't think any parent would experience that. So you're going into this relationship with this man that you're not married to, but you got to bind an agreement with him for the rest of your life due to having this child together. And I feel like that muddies things a lot more than having that quote unquote piece of paper. Because due to that child, you would never be able to get that man out of your life. Unless he does something so heinous and horrible, he's locked up forever or he dies. But I don't think that's something that you should wish on your child. Like, speaking for sons specifically, they need fathers around to navigate this world and figure out what it means to be a man and how to not get in trouble, how to control your emotions, how to have discipline, how to approach women, how to deal with women, lessons about women that you learn as you grow up. That stuff I learned from personal experience with my father. But there's like so many things that a young boy can learn from his father. So I don't think you will really want him to miss out on those things if you're not selfish, honestly. Because at that point, if the son doesn't have that experience with the father, it's really hurting him. And it's same for the daughter too. Like if she don't have that experience with her father, she could end up in a whole type of different chaotic situations. She could be a young mother herself. She could be involved in abusive men or harmful, dangerous men because she need to fill in that void of never knowing her father. And I'm not saying it's a stereotype. I'm just saying like situations and stuff that occurs in life that people just naturally do, and we see these patterns. And I'm not saying that to like say somebody is bad. I'm saying that so we can identify that behavior and maybe see the root of it so we can try to make sure that amount of suffering from it can decrease. But not having that father around will most likely lead to some type of loss or suffering or missing out on that child that they will definitely regret. They only have one life. So to say that marriage is just a piece of paper, but having a child with a man is not as binding is kind of crazy to me. That's a life agreement. That's a life attachment. That's an emotional attachment. That's a financial attachment. If y'all like just boyfriend and girlfriend and y'all separate, you're gonna be hopefully asking him for child support so you can take care of that child and that child can have the best life possible, right? you're not afraid of getting the government involved when you need to get that child support for the father. So why are you so against or so minimizing the fact of getting the government involved to recognize your binding agreement if you can get certain stipulations or privileges or benefits from being married, like taxes, health insurance, such and so forth, retirement, if somebody passes away, will, like there's so many things, life insurance, like you can't just look at things, it's just like, I don't know what, short term love just type thing. Like it's about love and it's about building the legacy that we claim so much to want on social media. That's another thing too. We talk about generational wealth so much, but we don't do the things to help ensure that it's possible. And I say that because I would say the vast majority of people who do have like generational wealth or they can pass on stuff is because they have families together. It's a mom and a dad, and they can put those resources, financial, mental, familiar, like being able to help babysit so you can go to work or you don't have to get off work, stuff like that. Putting all the resources of two different people from two different lives over the course of how long it took to meet together, and then using that to help raise that child or children in that community, in this world. Like we always say, like it takes a village to raise a child, but where's the village if you out there by yourself because there's nothing linking you guys together before that child is born. That's why me and Ram say like marry before you carry, because like we know like you can get divorced, like nothing is guaranteed to last forever. Nothing in life is guaranteed except death and taxes, as they say. But you can only increase the likelihood of success of your family and your child by getting married first, or while you're pregnant and y'all are in a happy relationship, because bringing the resources together, having that legal binding contract together, only increases the likelihood of you having something stable if it doesn't work out. If y'all just boyfriend and girlfriend, you can just hope you get child support. But if y'all separate, you can get, alimony. Depending on the situation, you're going to get more or less, depending on how much you actually need it. You're going to get your child support, and it's going to be much more, I feel like it's much more guaranteed, the fact that you are married, because you have that history of being together, of raising a child together previously. You also have the history of the finances and how that worked out when that child was alive and y'all was together. That way the court can decide what's the most, I want to say equal, what's the best way in their mind for the child to get finances from the father. I don't see anything in what I just said that puts a woman at risk any more than she already is by not getting married in the first place. And I'm not saying if you didn't get married and you already have a child, like you're a bad person. I'm just saying like we all need to learn from our mistakes and make sure we do some things better the second time, so we don't get that same bad feeling or get in that same bad position or situation that we did the first time. Like it's all about learning, and the only thing you can learn, the only way you can learn, is through self-analyzing, being self-reflective, and being honest with yourself. Like if you can't admit that you fucked up, how can you fix the mess up? Like I'm just being real with you. Like that's how I try to live my life, and I'm young and I'm trying to just do better day by day. It's a day by day thing. Like you're only human, but you can make yourself a little bit of a better human with each decision you take. That's all I'm trying to say. And getting married before you carry, I feel like it's just increasing the likelihood of success and decreasing the chances of being in pain or being in a bad position in the future. Like what do you have to lose, really? The greatest thing a woman could give a man is like a child, because nobody else could give him that. So why not have that man give you the greatest thing that he could give you, which is, his security, his love, a ring. Like, come on, like, and it's funny too. Like, I wonder how many girls that do say like marriage is just a piece of paper was like when they were young, they used to watch like freaking Disney stories and princesses and stuff, and like Prince Charming, they wanted to be like that. But now, somehow, some way, they've been so they just changing their perspective or their opinion with age and just feel like marriage isn't necessary. But having a child isn't that big of a deal. I don't know. This isn't meant to be an attack. I just really want to get some understanding. So if you really can provide me a perspective that I haven't thought of or I didn't articulate in this, just put in the comments below. I'll be happy to hear it. And 9 times out of 10, I'll reply and we have a little conversation about it. And maybe I'll even reference it in a future upload. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see y'all next time.